without him.
Oh,
30
wait,
seconds.
I should put mine on too.
10 seconds. 10 seconds.
Good evening and welcome to episode 13 of DestiNation Paintball Show, the podcast brought to you by Destiny Paintball. Right now in this room, we have Andrew Woodyard. Is it Woodyard or Woodyard?
Woodyard.
And he's a Destiny everything. Like, he's my go-to guy, kind of quasi life coach, and is my person that I can call and cry to when I have to. So thank you, Andrew, for being there for little old me. Barry Taco, is it Ozeroff?
Oh, you actually got that right. Normally people pronounce it Ozeroff, but you're right, Ozeroff.
Ozeroff. And you had lived in Vegas for a bit, and now you're living in Wyoming. And you and I met at the Liggets, and really cool story to share tonight with you. So thanks for being on the show. And then Miss Jessica Cortez from Hawaii. What time is it in Hawaii right now?
3:30.
Oh, snap. 3:30. Wow.
It's nice
So
outside.
it's not too bad because it's only 6:30 here. So we're just a 3-hour differential? Gosh, I thought it was more than that.
I thought it was.
All right. 5-hour flight, though. Hey, Dougie Fresh from Carolinas. Thanks for joining us. My veteran. We'll talk about Bunkerfest, too. I want to get your opinion on that. And Miss Cheryl Ellis. Hey.
Oh, God, you brought me on.
You're on, girl. You're on. Yep. She had texted me earlier because she's like, hey, we need to talk.
Yeah, she
I was
goes,
like,
okay, we can talk. Come on my show.
Just come on the podcast. Yeah. Just
I was
come on
supposed
the
to have a
podcast.
date tonight. I canceled it for you.
Yay! I win. Well, we are a Destiny family here, and Cheryl, you are now sworn in as of right this second.
Oh, wow.
And you and I have talked a bit about some other stuff, and then we'll kind of talk a little bit about that tonight. Hey, Kieran, San Diego Dynasty Pro, right here, Mr. Champion. Hi, Mr. Kieran. It's good to see you on. And then we've got my girl, Miss Bonchick, Maureen. Hello. Good evening. And then Michael Snyder, that's one of Destiny Unite's teammates for Barry. He says, Rex faces Barry. Always wrong. You do that. He still got it, y'all. And then Mike Mead, it's 5:31 there. So, yeah, well, an hour differential. And then BJ is sharing, I'm having a bad windstorm. All right, no worries, buddy. He was going to try to jump in with us tonight and just chat. That's all good. You be safe. So welcome, everyone, and good evening. We are coming out of Thanksgiving and moving into Christmas. Are you guys excited? Are you ready? I love this time of year. Yeah.
No.
You're not ready, Cheryl?
No, not even a little bit.
Yeah, I haven't even put my decorations up. Usually I have them up by now. I usually start on October 31st, but it's been a rough year.
Yeah, I'm in denial. I don't think Christmas is coming this year. Maybe in July.
Well, we saw you at the World Cup event, but before
Yes,
we get
ma'am.
into the Cup event and what your purpose there was, tell us a little bit about yourself, Miss Cheryl. What's your paintball history?
About me? Oh, put me on the spot. So I started playing ball about 9 years ago with my brother-in-law invited me out to this crazy thing that he did every year with his friends. He was like, come out, we camp, we play, just come have fun and you'll love it. So I didn't know what I was getting myself into. Next thing I knew, I was camped up at Ion. So Ion was my first event 9 years ago and absolutely fell in love with it. My first day on the field, I ran into a tank almost headlong, legitimately, and fell in love. I said, this is the world for me. So about what was it, a year and a half ago, I was contacted by Kathy Alvarez, your girl.
Yes.
Yes, she invited me out to play.
Valkyries.
Yes, to play with the Valkyries, and it was again another one of those situations that I didn't have any idea what I was getting myself into. So she's like, "Come play with the girls," and I came out and I played with the girls. Next thing I know, we're running up against the UK Predators, and
And you're playing woods ball
the master
tournament
blaster.
style, right?
Yeah, that was my first tournament actually. So then again, another experience kind of similar. After that was WCPL in New York last year. After that event, I sent a message to John Amadeo, just thanking him for the photos that he posted of us, and he asked if I was going to be at NXL Mid Atlantic, and it's down the road from me, so I was like, yeah, I'll be there. Met him at NXL and ended up working with him. So now we're working on a couple of projects that I know that you're excited about, and so am I. So it's good stuff.
Well, and that's
It's been a wild journey.
right. Well, and again, that leads me to my next question about John Amadea and how you texted me, and I had a total like brain fart, and I just didn't know, you know. And then
I was laughing because there was no reason that you would know any of that. But
right.
yeah.
And so then I was like, holy crap, because you were there to do the editing or just capture the memories for the documentary that Paintball.media is going to be putting out.
So
tell me about that.
John hooked up with a bunch of the coaches from the youth league, and they decided to collectively put together a documentary for their kids' journey to World Cup. And John's putting it out for free. So it's going to be free and accessible to everybody probably within the next 4 weeks, I would imagine.
I got to get you guys our footage too.
Yeah, it's wild. These kids and their parents, they've been sending him footage for going on 4 or 5 months now. And I joined him down there in Orlando. We interviewed 57 kids in 3 hours.
Wow.
What?
It was like I keep
7.
telling people it was like speed dating on mushrooms. You had this like conveyor belt of midgets that are just coming by. Hey, how are you?
Right? Well, and again, and this is all during World Cup. Nicole was scaring everybody, and the storm came through. It delayed you guys by, I'm assuming, a day, because I think some of the interviews were supposed to start on Thursday.
We were supposed to do all of them on Thursday. We pushed them back one. So.
Oh my gosh! And then and so 24 5-man teams showed up, and thanks to the NXL for giving us a platform, and a lot of other parents of these teams like Mark Gong and the Hermans, Jennifer Montresor and the Montresor Marauders, Jessica Cortez encouraged the Maui Misfit Minis. So many of these big players, even Andy Starrett with Allie Remembered, Scott McDonald, Steve Ross, all of these individuals had a huge part in many of the legwork that took place for the youth division. And so shout out to you guys for doing all of that. And so again, NXL, thanks for the platform. And then Andy Starrett took it further and got these kids awards because they didn't have a prize for the top 3 in the youth division. It was just the medals and rings, right? So kudos to all of you guys, and to now have a youth documentary put out by Paintball.media. Again, fundraising. We all encouraged within all of our youth teams to try to get you guys out there. So again, high five, parents and children. But leading to that, Dougie Fresh, you're a dad. And Andrew, you just had a baby. And both of y'all have been playing for a decade plus, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I started
almost 2.
I started back in really 99, 2000 with the Call Brothers. And I've been playing ever since. It's kind of ironic, kind of weird. I was just thinking about this morning, and I was talking to Milt, the Call Brothers' dad, yesterday, and I was thinking, man, I've been playing paintball longer than most of the kids at our field have been alive. And like one day I wore my old smoke jersey to the field and was playing, and somebody was like, "Who's that?" And this kid was like, "Oh my God, where did you get that? That thing is like a dinosaur. That belongs in a museum." I was like, "I've had this thing for 22 years, and it has survived."
Wow. 22 years. See, and I regret not having my E-Blade. Well, Bell Sales made it out of the United Kingdom, right, Pax? And I should have kept one. Now they sell for like $1,500 or something. The Evolution autococker. BJ's trying to get in. Beat my video keeps cutting out. I'll watch the live and talk there. BJ, do you think yet? Let me try you now. There you are from Carolinas. Plays with Dougie Fresh sometimes. Barry's in here too. So is Jesse. And these individuals have been playing. Barry, you came from the MPPL days and started. How old were you when you started?
I started paintball when I was 12. Maybe 18 years.
18. So 12 years old is when you started. Amazing. And so, we were talking about the Paintball Extravaganza is something that I wanted to mention tonight, but it's just about the business of paintball and just trying to see improvements. And Barry had some really cool points to say about what's currently happening within the NXL. And it was something about changing the format, and that's something that I can agree with. And I don't think I've told you some of my ideas yet, but can you kind of capitalize on that a little bit more, or tell us a little bit more about that theory?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard this from a lot of people. Paintball is really hard to watch. I mean, if you're going to get people like big sponsors like Nike, Adidas, Under Armour, these other big companies to get invested in the sport, we need to create a format where it's easy for spectators to watch and get excited. But right now, when you go in the paintball and you watch it for the first time, you don't really know what you're watching. You're kind of watching people shoot each other, and you don't understand all of the little technical things.
Hey, Barry, can you pick your phone up? Because I think it's a little muffled. Am I wrong, you guys? Doug and Cheryl? It's a little muffled.
Yeah, a little bit.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
So, anyway, creating even a bunch of spectators, the biggest thing, making a focus on watching what's happening through this episode, through that one thing moving, how people feel each
So I think I'm still having a hard time hearing you. Dag nabbit. I think what you were saying is something about Vegas and having maybe more entertaining locations. But I think I also heard you say something about the focal point, right? Did you mention something about a focal point?
Yes, having a focal point, something to watch, while you're playing. While you're watching, because watching our sport right now, it's really hard to watch because you're just seeing 5 guys run around shooting each other. You don't know what you're watching, rather than like football or soccer, the ball move around the field and you're watching everyone respond to that. So seeing, so having something to watch and follow is going to be, the biggest thing to get spectators to watch the sport. And you're not going to get anyone watching the sport unless it's heavily funded through, Nike, Under Armour, like I said, these other big companies that are non-paintball companies. Rock Stars kind of gotten involved a little bit, and I think I want to say Nike was sponsoring one of the pro teams. It could have been Thunder. So they're kind of they're seeing it. It's on the radar now, but it's not easy because it's really hard to follow. So creating a format with.
Right. And so it tells me like the Paintball Extravaganza is something that's been happening since 2005. And it's strictly for dealers and for the manufacturers to come together and just figure out how to motivate people and encourage them to do paintball business. And sometimes we'll have, hold on, I got to mute somebody. I think it's Dougie. There it is. Dougie, I just muted you for a second. I just heard a little like rustling. My ADHD kicks in for a minute. But talking about the extravaganza, how they'll have round tables and have people just discuss like, what do you do to, make money, and how can I improve my own business compared to what you're doing too, and just sharing ideas. And I think part of the problem, at least for what I have seen in the last 2 decades, is the inability for people to work together. It's almost like, nope, I'm just going to make my slash bigger. I don't want to really necessarily collaborate and make the pie bigger, and that's just something that I've witnessed for so long. I mean, can you guys disagree or agree with me on that?
Can I talk now?
Yes, sir. Go ahead, Dougie.
Yay! My phone's acting up. All right. I think paintball to be televised or anything like that kind of had to be like the 90s TV show American Gladiator, because the average person, when you're watching a sporting event, whether it be soccer, football, baseball, the World Cup, the fan is has a personal stake, I guess you'd say, in the team that they're pulling for. In football, you've got 22 people on the field. It's 100 yards. Everybody knows the objective. Get the football into the other end zone. Soccer, into the goal. Basketball, things like that. Where when I use the American Gladiator analogy, before every event, every week, you'd see so-and-so is going against a Blazer, and they're going through the gauntlet, and they've got to go through this. And then it takes like this digital, at that time, walkthrough of what you're going on, and then you can see there and you can watch the show and be like, oh, well, that makes sense. Oh, I like the way he did it.
Like Ninja.
So
American Ninja.
Yeah, and so I think the problem is I think the NXL, instead of having weekly events, because that's just going to be impossible, what they should do is they should televise. I know Ghost Force is doing a great job of, for the paintball community. No one outside of paintball is going to pay $10 a month to watch it. But what you do is you take those NXL matches and you have the season, but it's all in like a 3-month time frame in like the middle of the summer or whenever off season is. So from now until say March, you would be seeing like an hour episode each week of, oh my, well, we already know what happens, but you can see the build up, and then you'd be able to get the 2 teams. So let's say Dynasty and Ironman are playing. So then your ESPN group, you'd go through and you'd have that little drama of whatever's going on to the build up of this event.
Anything is possible, Dougie. Yeah.
I think that would be how you get it mainstream.
What were you going to say, Andrew?
So, Dougie, and so years ago, and I'm pulling out the old Rolodex here, and B, you probably remember this.
Ultimate.
Most people don't. Yeah, we had a league. Good old Milk Call, God bless him. We had a televised show that ran for a season. The UAPL, the Arena Paintball League.
Dang, good memory.
Yeah, we got great ratings. It was a 3-man format, indoor. We ran it the same way we did Ultimate Madness way back in, what was that, 01, 02, and 03? Or 2000 to 03, I think. We ran UAPL, and we got great ratings. Everybody watched it every week, and it was like you say, it was every week was a different episode, and it was we had I think 6 teams per episode doing a 3-man, and the issue that we ran into was it just cost too damn much to buy the airtime.
Because it was on a cable channel, right? It wasn't like in pickleball right now. We got it on CBS. That's like somebody call the Pickleball Association to teach us.
It was on WGN.
Yep.
Yeah, it was on WGN. Like, we would beat out the Bulls at home for ratings.
Dang it. Can they just get all that footage and put it on YouTube?
We couldn't.
Wonder who owns it.
It's on.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's on.
It's on YouTube.
It is?
Milt used to own
At
it.
the
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
the center and through the center and shot out that guy. That same event.
Yeah.
Where we came
Yeah.
out in smoke and we were Milwaukee Rapture and we were the first all women's pro team. Like nobody
Yeah.
talks about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like so,
Wow.
and like we entered into the stage like
Just as old
you know what I
farts.
mean? Like,
Yeah, because we had the ramps and everybody was coming with all the laser lights and the fog machines and everybody had their
it's
music.
about entertaining the crowd. Yes.
Yeah.
We always came out. It was great, but it just cost us so much money that Milt couldn't afford to keep it going for another season. And there was some other drama with that, but it was too much money. We couldn't afford it.
Well, and again, that's why in 2022 had something like that. Like again, it's still possible. We're already talking about it. Bunkerfest has already started to roll that all right. But and I'm not saying that the Bunkerfest is going to replace the NXL. It'll probably give them conviction, which is a big yay, right? Because you want people to do better, especially if you hear about complaints, you know, and we won't go into detail because unfortunately the storm really did make a muck and cause chaotic things to exude after that. But thank God that they still were able to have an event. You know, it was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday games. So
Yeah, I know you were in Tampa for part of the week, right?
Yeah, like we went and practiced at Tiki's Paintball, and they're in, where's Tiki's again, Mike?
Tampa.
Seffner, Florida, very close to starts with a B. Anyway,
Tampa.
by Tampa, 30 minutes from Tampa. So we were there, and the storm came through, and I even sent out like a little post, and everybody was probably getting super annoyed. I was like, fill your tubs up with water.
Yeah.
Power up your blocks, and people are like,
when did you guys make it actually into to Orlando? When did you make it back to the middle of the state?
We were there the whole time. So we had gotten there to practice in Seffner on Friday, the weekend prior, and did that for 3 days straight, and then went to Kissimmee on Monday afternoon of World Cup week. So we were there literally like, oh my gosh, are they going to be ready? You know,
did you see how much they set up and then had to take down and then put back up again?
Yeah. Well, and they couldn't take
absolutely incredible.
Right. Couldn't take the nets down because the amount of time that it would take to get back up and for the next day, it was just too difficult to manage. So they took the risk. And thankfully, Nicole wasn't as bad on that area as she was around the other parts of the Floridian states. But
seriously, seeing the production, what they went through Thursday and Friday to put everything back together, mad props to their grounds crews and what NXL pulled off. It was impressive.
Yep. Super impressive. So at any rate, you know, speaking of what you're doing with the youth documentary and the youth division, I wanted to ask you, Cheryl, like, what were some of the positives that you saw when the kids were actually just talking to each other, not just necessarily what you saw on the field, but what was your feeling about what the interaction was like with the kids off?
These kids are absolutely exceptional. Absolutely exceptional. The language that they're using, I mean, my hat goes off to all of the coaches. I don't even want to name names because I don't want to leave anybody out, because every single one of these teams, the kids, the way that they speak to each other, the way that they encourage each other, and the language that they're using is just so positive and so supportive, and everything about what they're learning, you can tell that they're being mentored just to be better human beings. You hear the words integrity. They're so focused on communication. I heard more times than I can even count the word respect. And those aren't words that you typically hear kids of that age group use. So to hear that language coming out of these littles was really impressive. They were very encouraging, very supportive, not just of their own teammates, but everybody else that was on the field. So it was a great community vibe. And having the parents and all of the other people there that was there as supporters, it was just a really cool experience having so many spectators around.
Yeah.
It was a great vibe. I really enjoyed it.
And that's why I feel like, you know, they truly are the future. And so kudos to the parents, like you said, and these mentors that are taking the time out to teach these kids. Hopefully we can start at this ground level and teach them proper behavior, to kind of avoid some of the mishaps that, we kind of didn't really pass the torch that well the last 15 years. And I'm part of it, So now that my daughter's interested in it, of course, now I continue to have a vested interest because I want to see her thrive. And
Right.
to me, the platform that is paintball and the people that are within it are worthy, right, of the time that we spend together. And just like you said, just learn how to be better people. And that's what Destiny's about, Knowing Jessica for as long as I've known her. Andrew, I've known you for 2 decades. My God. Doug, he's a veteran and he's my hero. BJ, we've gone through a lot this past year and you're still here. You're still loyal to the core. And then Barry's story is so hilarious that he was upset in Vegas in 2006, I think it was. And we had taken second place to his Vex team. And we got more press from it because it was the first time ever that an all-female paintball team did so successful and made it to a podium finish, but poor Vex, right? Like, they didn't get, right? And so then I was like, I'm so sorry. And I'm meeting him here in Heavenly, Montana. And I think I'm like, there's a reason why we met. And so then we just kind of connected. And I said, well, do you want to go to Cup and play with one of our teams? And there's never an obligation. Like, I don't want people to be a part of Destiny that don't want to be here, and so Barry wants to be here. And now he's all, and this is news, let's do a X-Ball team, a competitive one for next season. And I'm fully supportive of him playing with other teams, just as long as when you're representing Destiny, you wear the right stuff to make our sponsors happy. But then I don't want you to feel restricted and not go continue to play some other paintball somewhere else. That to me doesn't make any sense. So in the collaborative idea, I think that is paintball savior, right, Cheryl? Where, you're seeing all these people work together to make what the youth division was, including Jessica's encouragement, right? And so that to me speaks volumes. And so now hopefully we can teach our kids, hey, kids, make the pie bigger. Make the pie bigger, because then each of our slices will be even bigger too. Right. I really think that's the meaning of life too, right, Jessica? Like when we talk about what we're supposed to be doing here purposefully, that's in essence the right things to do. So anybody, Dougie, we lost you. BJ, do you want to speak on that? How about you, Doug?
Can you tell me what you just talked about? I kind of dropped out.
It's okay. We were just talking about collaborations and the importance of working together versus against each other.
I agree. I think too many people are, so hell-bent on not furthering the cause, but not furthering the cause, if that makes any sense at all.
Yes.
There's so many people out there now that have a voice. At some point, players are going to come together. You guys, Destiny has the same presence as a lot of the big name teams do. I mean, there's only one other camp that I can think of that puts more teams in.
Oh, you froze. And I bet you he was going to say Veterans Militia. Which brings me to the next topic, Bunkerfest. So I know why it started, but when you see Bunkerfest, what are your thoughts on?
I think the dog's knocked the internet off.
Say again. Oh, the internet.
All right. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
I'm back. Okay,
You're back.
Where did I leave off?
Talking about probably Veterans Militia, because I think you were saying that there's another organization that puts out a lot of teams, and my guess was Veterans Militia. And he's frozen. And then I talked about Bunkerfest.
And I'm back.
You're back.
Right. So, I was going to say Veteran Militia is the only other group that puts in as many teams in NXL and through all the different divisions as Destiny does. And so I feel like Chris and B both have, if they combine their energy, would be a really large force. You know, in politics, we call it voting power. You know, if you know you guys hold that many votes as a team. Sorry, my dog just something fun. But yeah, and Bunkerfest, I'm done. No, Bunkerfest is amazing. Chris is awesome.
He is.
I think Bunkerfest.
I'm having fun watching his face freeze.
Size,
I know.
The great faces they're landing on.
I'm gonna remove him. Oh, Dougie.
You can only
So,
imagine.
you're making great points.
Anyway, I think the internet is rough over where you are. Where are you exactly, Doug?
I think he's in
Hey,
Rock Hill,
we're
South
ready.
Carolina.
Oh, that's a shame.
And you're done.
He's on point. I hear what he's saying.
Dougie, text me later, brother. He plays with Destiny Carolinas with Chris Bolus and BJ Baldridge. And BJ, where does Doug live?
He lives in Rock Hill, South Carolina. Last I heard. So
Speaking of the Carolinas, okay, let's talk about the NXL schedule. Is it near the Carolinas, or is that not happening?
the closest one would probably be Pennsylvania and Kissimmee.
Okay, yep,
Yeah.
I'm looking at the dates now. So announcing March 10th through the 12th is Sunshine State. Lone Star is going to be April 28th through the 30th. Then the Mid-Atlantic Open is going to be in Royersford, Pennsylvania, June 16th through the 18th. Then the location for the Midwest Major will be announced later, September 15th through the 17th. Wonder where that might be. We'll talk about that in a
I
second.
guess
November
probably
9th through the 12th is World Cup.
maybe St. Louis.
You think?
There's a lot of
Midwest.
people saying
Or maybe at Damian Ryan's field. Is that Kansas, Missouri? I don't know where he's at, to be honest. I think he's in Nebraska. But Midwest. Where do you think it's going to be, Mike? Mike Paxson. The NXL Midwest Major. Would it be with that fella's that worked at Dye? What was his name? Yeah, is he at his hat? Dave Pando. Shout out to Dave Pando if you're on. Anyway, okay, so where were we? We were talking about Dougie and then the Bunkerfest. What are your thoughts on Bunkerfest? Good? What is it going to do to the NXL? Anything?
I'm excited for it
Probably
personally. So this is my first season of this much from my first season.
Can you guys hear him okay, or is it just me?
Nah, the struggle's real.
The struggle is real. Yeah, so Barry, I think from what you said is that you think it's a good idea and that you're going to be playing in Bunkerfest. And I think the Vex team we're going to create a Vex Destiny in essence. But sometimes you're going to play with 406's finest. So you'll be playing with 406's finest at Bunkerfest, right? Awesome. Awesome. I love it. I love it. Okay, and so Jessica Cortez, what's going on in Maui?
Nothing right now.
Nothing? Any
grass
events at
is
Maui
healing.
Paintball?
No, our grass is healing. We had our field up for almost a month, I think it was, and so right now it's healing, and it kind of slows down a little bit, anyways, after World Cup, because there's Thanksgiving and Black Friday sales, and
And then lots
the
of
beginning
Christmas
of the
parties.
holidays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of traveling, so players are not really as active on the speedball field, but all of us have been fiending to play some speedball, but it should be up and running in the next week or so, or 2 weeks from now. Don't quote me though.
Well, hello to Jennifer Montresor, and thank you for sharing that with us. I do really want to get to Maui, Jesse. I'm not even lying. There's always a reason. And
I remember you were hoping that Christmas time would be a time that you'd come and visit me.
Yeah.
But next year,
I know. Next year.
I think it's going to happen.
Again, yes. I'm going to stay positive about that. Yeah, we should just kind of have an event there. You know what I mean? And that would help cover the cost.
Yeah.
Right? Do a clinic / mini tournament.
Everybody going to Maui.
Get mad at it.
You know, if you guys want to support CPX, Hanu's has got the Hawaiian Legends. It's a great event. Great excuse to go to Maui. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying.
You have to wait till 2024 though. February though, so a little over a year.
You have time to prep for it. You can go to Bones and Ashes in March.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's another one. We were talking about Bones and Ashes, and we were actually going to do a fun fundraiser event, and I'm going to create a kind of mini Destiny League. And the reason why we call it Destiny League is we want to go to all of our Destiny teams' home fields and do an event. And I'm not sure what kind of event it will be. Maybe it'll be a quasi clinic / mini tournament, but a tournament that you've never participated in before. You know, some new elements, right? Just to make it more fun, make you use your brain, because part of what makes paintball so special is the strategic knowledge, you know. So, and I've always felt like we needed to kind of do something like that again. You know what I'm saying? Just to kind of bring it back to what I was introduced to paintball about, like blind layouts and walking on JP's different field versus what Smart Parts' field looked like. You know, I miss those things. I miss the car wash with the vinyl strips hanging down in the center, like which I think Bunkerfest is going to have. Attractive to me, right? I would love to see a rainbow. Can we put a rainbow out in the center with the little vinyl things that look like raindrops coming off the rainbow and the cloud? You know, that sounds fun to me. You know, Pikachu, he's in the corner. You know,
yes.
Shooting the Pikachu. Stay on.
Bring back the gigantic X.
Bring back the gigantic X. You know, or have a see-through bunker. I don't know. You know. You can see me, but you can't shoot me.
Bring back the giant rock.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. The dealership inflatable that just does this.
Yeah, with the thing that goes like this. So you have to kind of shoot through it. That's so funny. Well, yeah, it's so Wes Shockley. Thank you for your comment. That might get me to Maui. Yep. Doug Hinson is all, by the way, I blame BJ for my phone messing up. And then we have another friend in our youth. I'm calling it the youth group because why not? And Mark Gong and Jennifer Montresor, both of which are watching right now. Thank you again. If it wasn't for the hard work that you guys put together with all of us as well, every single one of the youth teams, high five. Huge credit to you guys for making the youth division very successful. And of course, the NXL for giving us the platform. And then for the kids to be able to play on the pro field and hear their name and see their name in lights. So it's pretty special. And I think, again, when you remember the people that you're helping and the customer service that you're supposed to be providing, those are the things that are going to last forever. You know, even though, yes, we're going to remember the infamous kids. They were the first team to win it. They kind of snuck in there. I'm just going to say, just saying, you know, all the other kids have been practicing for a year and a half, and here comes Thomas Taylor, you know. The kid's really fast, you know. Thanks, Thomas. I love you, man.
Yeah, Thomas was short enough. He could look like a kid for about 40 years, and no one would know.
No one. I know, and props to Destiny kids too. Those kids are complete throw together. Never really practiced with each other to get ready for the World Cup event. BB's coming from Montana, kids from Louisiana, Texas, and
That's
so
all
long
they're
story
putting,
short,
at practice. They are amazing. I mean, they play
those
like
were just
that.
the AC
It's
kids
natural.
though. That wasn't all of
Yeah.
the Destiny kids because we were missing the NOLA kids,
Yeah, I
Jacob
didn't get
and
to see
Jacob
being-
Riley.
Yeah.
And so AC kids, those are another bunch of kids. Holy crap, they're good. Like they play
were
better
incredible.
when they're more challenged or have more pressure against them. And so they'll beat like 20-year veterans from D4 rank and, win local events against them. But then when they go to play beginners, they kind of get a little, So at any rate, it's interesting to see how people play differently under pressure. But all the kids did do well, Mark Long just said. And then, yes, Lupe, the Destiny kids and the AC kids were part of that. So was Destiny NOLA, Beer Cats, and I think Walk 'em Down was going to make it. I think his name is Bryson. He wasn't able to make it because he got sick. But like I said, they're the future. And I think if we nourish them properly in terms of giving them all the right tools and teaching them the right virtues, the future is bright. All right. Barry keeps getting knocked out. So his internet might not be that great in Wyoming.
And I'll say our
he said
leadership
he's on a mountain at
and
8,300
players
feet
out there. The
Yep,
players
Ellen
out
one from
the Blanco
Austin Evo.
girls really
Yeah, the
inspire-
Blanco sisters. See, and that's another thing. Kudos to Haley Leva. Happy birthday to you. She's 20 years old tonight. She's been with Destiny since
Happy birthday.
2018. 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. 4 years. Going on her 5th with us. And she sent me this letter that I've already put in my china cabinet that I will never lose. The best gift ever of her just expressing gratitude. And that sits with me forever, better than any medal, right? And so the future are the children. Haley being a prime example of being a Destiny kid. She was, how old was she, Lupe? 15? And again, she was leading as an ambassador with Colt Dahl, who came to Montana, did a cute little 3-man event, plus played jelly ball with the kids, came all the way from, Ohio and Texas to do that. So that to me, really speaks volumes about Haley, and now she's still with us. So thank you, Haley. Really grateful for you and your parents too. Best parents ever. But those are important things to teach. So, and yeah, Lupe just said 15. But yeah, Cheryl, you're a mom, right? How many kids do you have?
I have 3 kids. I have 3.
Are they old enough to play paintball?
My oldest is Spectrum, and he's a pacifist, so that's not happening. My daughter, she doesn't really like to get dirty. But my baby, my little dude, he's all about it. He wants to come out and play already, but he's only 6. So we're doing the jelly ball thing right now.
Channel that.
I'm
You never know.
anxious. He's anxious for the transition. He wants to come out and play big boy ball, but I don't want him to get hit yet. He's tough.
I don't
It's going to take it
recommend
fine. The
until
kid broke his femur when he was 2, and he took it like a champ. So I know he can take it. It's not the pain that I'm worried about. I just don't want him to get scared off from it just yet.
Well, and I kind of played role reversal with BB, or reverse psychology, that is. And I didn't really push paintball on her, but she always saw what we were doing. And obviously we carried her with us for practices and tournaments. But I always said, nope, golf or tennis, right? Because you can get a college scholarship on that. And she ended up falling in love with it. And so there's no turning back now. We're in this.
Yeah.
Well, coming up on December 11th, if you guys are in the state of California, and particularly in the South, please go to Lynn's 10th annual charity event. It's going to be at, I don't know what ASG stands for. Do you guys know? Action Sports Games, maybe? In Paris, California. So, is that right? Might have to
That sounds right.
Okay. And then as far as, some of the upcoming events, what is going to be next for some of y'all? What's next coming up in 2023? Anybody doing anything before then?
The Carolinas are actually playing in a Toys for Tot tournament in Greenville, South Carolina at Paintball Central on the 10th.
Paintball Central on the 10th. All right, send me a link on that. We'll share it on the Destiny page.
Will
Try
do.
to get a few more people to go. And then Dennis Citron. Hello, Dennis, my good friend. He says it's Action Star Games. So Dennis is most likely going to be there. And him and Eugene Lazos do Behind the Mask, the podcast. And so be sure to check that out. They're on the Insta and on the Facebook. How about you, Barry? Where are you going next?
I'm going to stick with work for the summer season. I'm going to Bunkerfest and Bunkerfest.
Okay, great. Kind of heard you a little bit. Make sure you send me a post and I will share it. And then let's see. And then Jessica, you already kind of told us what's going on. And then Cheryl, what can we expect from the youth documentary? Are you helping to piece it together?
I am. This weekend I got a big game coming up. We're going to OXCC is having Cypher Productions is putting out their second game, I think it is, The Collapse. So this one's gonna be pretty cool.
Awesome.
The youth documentary, I think, give us like 5 weeks with it. Give us like 4 or 5 weeks with it. Is John he's working on right now. We're working on Simon Stevens. He's doing he's doing a Simon Stevens documentary. So that one's really educational, great material in there. Stuff you never knew that you never knew. It's good stuff. You'll enjoy it.
Inception Designs, right?
Inception
Simon
Designs, that's right.
Awesome. Okay. And then the youth documentary is next, so I can't forget to send him some stuff. I gotta send it.
Yeah.
I wanna quickly share. So when I had shared about Maui Paintball, I was talking about the field. So we actually have not had a chance to talk. Destiny Hawaii has not had a chance to talk about our plans for the future, but I keep my ears open for where everyone else is going, so we can kind of, figure out where we want to go. But I was kind of whispering in the ears of our players to maybe we piggybacking with you guys to the Bunkerfest. I kind of wanted to go into the Bunkerfest this year too, but things don't always go the way we plan. But it's always meant for a reason, and I'm thinking that that's probably where we're going to go next, but we'll see.
I think that's a great idea, and I think too, maybe Montana 3-man. I was just going to say,
yeah,
I am going to be turning 50 in May, and I do want to do a 3-day.
You said 15, right?
You're 49.
15? Yeah.
I do want to unplug the phone. I'll still bring it with me for recording things. But 2 years ago, right, Mike, we went on a 4-day excursion where reception did not work. And I remember asking Mike, like, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? Like, what do you guys do? And so I found myself being highly entertained by the dog fetching the stick, the guys jumping in and diving into the lake, watching them catch fish and being able to cook it, and just chilling, right? And then making sure we kept the water going, because you had to go to the river and then pick up the water and it strained through the water treatment. It was so fun and cool, and just being able to unplug and get, that close to nature was a good thing. So that's what I'm going to do for my birthday. So if there's anybody else that wants to walk in for 11 miles and just chill for 3 days.
I don't know if I can do 11 miles, but I'd love to.
I wonder.
What's that?
If we could put together
I don't know if I can do 11 miles.
Like a Destiny camping, not like outdoors trip event thing.
That would be so fun to do in Maui. Like, I could see us just saying, bring your pump guns only.
The ground is right across the field.
Camp at Maui. Yep. Camp right outside. How are the mosquitoes, though? Like, do we need repellent?
They're hungry.
Larry
But
is
no,
a real
that's
thing, right?
Well, that's like I said, that's what we want to do in Wyoming and Montana, right, Barry? And I kind of want to do like we did in the past, where we had Colton Dahl come out, Haley Leva came out, and people got a chance to see, tournament paintball style from Texas and Ohio, And so for us out here in Montana, it's a beautiful, beautiful place to visit. We can quite easily do a 3-man here in my neck of the woods where they film Yellowstone and do a 1-day fun event, and the rest will go fishing, hiking, do a little sightseeing,
That would be
waterfall,
really
walking.
cool.
You know what I mean? Just to make
For
it truly
us,
a destination paintball, concept.
some
So
of
am
us
I-
in Maui, we don't get to leave the rock very often. So, it kind of feel like we don't know what's out there. So that's definitely why we get so excited about, traveling to see everyone else's field. That's
Or even like if you wanted to go to like go see BJ, or even come up here to Montana or wherever Cheryl's going, and she could take you to OXCC with her.
Oh,
You know what I
yeah.
mean? It's because of the familiarity, right? And I trust Andrew, and I also trust Jessica. So then I would hope that you two would feel more comfortable with each other because of that connection, right?
Yeah.
So
Oh, yeah.
that's the concept. I mean, that's the whole reason why we developed Destiny to be this way, is because it was always some friend saying, "Hey, you got a team we can play with," or
Yeah.
we're thinking about going to this set event. Do you know anybody else that would want to play with us? And then it's in essence like a free agency, I guess.
Yeah. And
But
personally, I'm looking at it getting more into photography and paintball photography.
I
don't know
saw
if
your
you've seen
photos.
my photos. So I mean, I've been doing it for maybe 5 years now, but I'm really into it, and I thought maybe look at that, Lupe. I would love to. My auntie would love to have me too. So, but I was thinking about trying to piggyback with some events just to get a little bit more experience and even hang out with you guys to learn for myself. I've had
Well,
a
and Lupe, I know, would open his doors. You guys could go and stay with Stacy and Lupe. And as you just mentioned, the AC kids, who is in essence our family. I'm an AC mom now, and they're playing Frostbite in Dallas at Paintball Fit. And I don't know if you saw that Paintball Fit just put out an announcement about their upcoming league, where I think if you're a winner, you go to World Cup, entries covered, and your hotel stay. So that's pretty cool, and hella cool for them to do to support the NXL, right? Because they're sending people to do that to also be on this journey to World Cup like we are. But then he also mentioned that Haley the following weekend will be in New Orleans at LAX. And so again, Jessica or BJ or Andrew or Barry, LAX is where Andrew Bankston is at. He owns the place. Really cool dude. You could even go visit Tug Plaisance at NOLA Paintball, all because of that Destiny connection. And so at the beginning of the year, I'm going to put together the final completion of the Destiny Structures booklet. And so just to make an announcement to stay, true to what I'm trying to do for y'all is write out exactly what those expectations are, and how we're going to be here to help and what we'll need from you to help us promote paintball. And so Haley's coaching this weekend and playing next weekend. So again, and visiting Texas too, and just seeing the Leva family, there's always going to be that opportunity to see or just feel that connection. All right. So Jean Rogers, hello. Yeah, I'm 50 years young. I am. Well, anything else that anybody wants to touch on as it pertains to what's coming up? And of course, the holidays are here. We'll have our next podcast show to be next week on Wednesday. I talked to Rocky Cagnoni this evening, all thanks to Andrew, and he is going to try to join us. So I'll try to get Paxton on. We'll do.
Yeah, I didn't hear a Pax weigh in on where Midwest is going to be, NXL Midwest. Where does he think it's going to be?
I don't think he dared to guess, and I just threw out Dave Pando's name because Michael used to work with him a lot when he was still at Dye, and I believe he opened up a field that's somewhere in the Midwest. I always joke about Damian Ryan's field and them holding an NXL event as much as he loves Tom.
I mean,
No,
we could
not
start a
gonna
pool. We could start a 50-50 pool.
We could start a 50-50 pool. We should do that as a fundraiser. Yeah, and that'll be great actually to kind of get. Where do you guys think it's going to be?
I would say either St. Louis or Kansas City. But I mean, I know that's going off old, way back when days. But yeah, that was always, our Midwest game was either Kansas City or St. Louis.
Right on. Yeah, I
I
missed
wish they'd
again.
bring back
Midwest.
Vegas.
That's what I was saying.
And again,
No.
you don't like the Vegas? I like Vegas.
Vegas is trouble.
I like that it's
Vegas
close
is-
by.
But it's got so many fun things to do there. Like,
That's the problem.
Yes,
I
it
have
does.
family
That's
there,
the
so it
problem.
makes life a little easier.
yeah.
Hey, as long as nobody drives the golf cart through any scaffolding again, maybe.
I remember that happening. Jeez. Oh, well, thank you guys for being on the show this evening. And
Can you tell
some-
Pax that everyone wants him to come to Maui?
I will tell Michael that. Yeah, I'll let him know. I would love for me, Rocky, and Mike to just go back and do a. We should just do a whole reunion tour where we just go to all like Line of Fire paintball. We used to do a lot of events there. We did a lot of stuff in New England, and just go, visit fields as the trio that we once were when we did paintball school. And Ron Stewart
I'm
paintball
seeing
camps.
reality show, paintball reality show. The three of you.
Well, and
just
again,
touring.
like that to me makes sense. That's
That
something
could be
that
your
like.
media coverage.
Right.
Let's do it.
Well, and again, that's why thank God for YouTube.
Cheryl and I.
And you can start your own
Let's
channel.
do
and
it,
something
girl.
like that.
I've
Each
always
episode would
said
be-
this. I've always said this, and I've told Rocky this. I've told the Call brothers this. Greg, way back when, they need to make a paintball movie, but not like that crap that was, what was that, Splat from like 1990, that Bobby Duke's Blackball movie, an actual like movie that's quality about paintball.
So you want to do it like Almost Famous, but for paintball?
Yeah, kind of like that.
That
Not
would
like what was it? Splat had Bud Orr was in Splat, and
Well, I think the Blanco sisters, and I hate to kind of put them on the spot, but the moment I met them and their beautiful mother and their talented father, who's like a jockey and he like wins on horses and stuff. Anyway, fascinating family. I'm just fascinated, right? And then how they were so in inline skating and they were hella good at it. And their stride isn't very long, but they're fast. Okay. And just even the biology of Carrie Blanco's tongue, I'm just saying, okay. And she could be in the Kiss band. I'm not even joking. Like you guys probably already know this, but they would have a very interesting story to tell. And especially because they're bilingual, so because of the cultures that they come from, right? The American and the Venezuelan. So, and living in Florida, and they're gorgeous. They're the most beautiful family I've
I
ever
didn't
met.
know they lived out there. That's cool.
But again, that to me is, if you're in paintball to be a promotional machine, you have to come up with ways to figure out how can we get paintball in the eyes of many. And even if it is just to follow the story of the Blanco sisters, and how entertaining their lives are and the contributions that they make to helping others, because they've literally brought on the paintball shenanigans the Destiny shenanigans, we called them. And then we called the kids the Destiny shenanigans. And they did that. And it was all because the WNXL had that Women's National Paintball Day, and those girls came and they nurtured them. You know, they're like, hey, you guys really should continue this. And so there's longevity in that, and they show so much value, you know. So granted, yeah, I have bias, right? I think the WNXL Destiny girls market paintball to so many people. Like, look at Haley Leva's following, right? Carrie Blanco. But like I said, it's Michaela Brooks and all that she's doing, Jackie Lawn. Freaking Lynn Trong's doing her 10th annual charity event. You know, significant players that do a lot more than just play paintball field, you know, including our youth minister, right, Jackie Lawn. So anyway, the list goes on and on. I could talk all night about them, but also it includes what you guys are doing in your neck of the woods. You know, it's super important to support that local economy. And I say, first and foremost, focus on that. Then we'll meet up at World Cup, because that's the tradition, you know. So thank you very much for what each and every one of you guys are doing. Thanks for keeping me alive in this, because I don't really want to do it for any other reason except to be around you guys. And thanks for just loving on Diane and BB and Mike. And gosh, we're going on almost 22 years, or 23 years in paintball now. I think Mike's been 23 plus 5, 27. 27 years paintball, Mike? Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy. Like we knew Bob Williams. We know Charles Gaines. These are the guys that invented paintball. That's how old we are.
We need to do a reunion event, 3-man Rage in the Cage.
In Montana with Kevin Costner here. So
Yellowstone Ranch. Yellowstone King of the Ranch.
We'll do it for some big charity. Each celebrity has to do it for charity. And it could just be a one-on-one. It could even be them just shooting targets with jelly ball pistols. I don't care. You know, like, it's just different. You know, Cheryl, help us out. Get Paintball Media to sponsor it.
All right. My wife works for Make-A-Wish. So, like, if you guys want to contribute, we can do it and make a donation to Make-A-Wish.
Yes. There you go. Or
only
December
if BJ
10th.
brings his chicken.
Say what?
I said only if BJ brings his chicken.
I know.
I will bring the chicken. We have fancy chickens, and yeah.
Yeah, they look fancy too, I bet, with cool mohawks and stuff. All right, you guys, I'm going to close with this. Let me see, is it showing? Oh, no, it's not going to show. I got to go up here to click on this
That's
button.
the kids' jersey.
Oh, did you see it?
Yeah, but it's gone now. It's too fast.
Oh, snap. I have this for sale. I have this cute little thing right here.
Oh, the kids one?
This is so cute.
So please buy it for Christmas. And then also, I've got a Destiny WNXL jersey. I got both versions, the Dizana and the Anthrax. Our practice jersey is the Dizana one. Let me click off of that. I'll show you.
Is that the red one, or is that the?
I love that.
That's actually pretty sick. I like that.
I like the red. We were trying to bring you angry.
Yeah, it does.
We were trying. We were so close to you guys, 2-1.
What size do you have of those, MB?
I have medium and large in the WNXL red. I've got another one in the red or the purple and blue. I would like to have 120 or more. You know, make a donation with that, and I'll send extra stuff. But yeah, I even have this. I've got this that I can throw in there with the jersey. Plus, I am trying to sell 6 more hoodies, and they're all in small and larges. And each sale of that is a entry to win a Scintilla headband or head wrap, I should call it. Yep. What were you gonna say?
Some things to sell too, but I'm not going to show it right now. But just be out for Destiny Hawaii's lives or something, you know, on our page sometime soon. We want to do a few things to help raise some funds to buy our youth jerseys and hopefully start a fund for them to make it to events next year. So
yes. And I just share it with me, and I will share it to the masses as well. Yeah. All right, y'all. Well, thank you for watching. Thank you for your friendship, and thank you for having fun with us. And
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome, Cheryl.
I didn't get any of the quotes that I needed, but
what quotes do you need? Well, you know what? We'll stay on in the green room after this.
I
We'll
can't,
hang
honey.
out.
I have a date. I told you.
No,
It's
Oh, God,
karaoke
you
night.
can't.
it's karaoke night. What the heck?
Karaoke night.
I love karaoke.
I know, right?
We should do one right now. I'm just kidding.
It's been 20.
Come on, I'll bring the
it has been
laptop with
20
me.
years
Let's
since
go.
I've seen you do karaoke.
20. I know. That's so funny that you
I
remember.
haven't been on a date in like 15 years.
Okay, fine.
You should come and hang out with me in Maui.
All right, honey. All right.
All right.
Be careful what you wish for. I might show up on your doorstep.
Well, Cheryl, call me anytime. I'm busy all the time, but just text me. I
I
work
have
very
cousins
spontaneously.
and friends, and you know.
All right. All right.
Yes.
We'll get it taken care of.
All
Thanks
right,
for
you guys.
having me. This was
You're
fun.
so welcome, and thanks to all of you again for being on. And we will see you next week, Wednesday, every Wednesday. DestiNation Paintball Show, the podcast. It's going to be at 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So we will see you next time. Shout out to Destiny Nola. Thank you very much to also GI Sports too. You guys had the best paint at World Cup, so thank you for supplying us with the best paint. And we're going to roll out with a commercial from Planet Eclipse. Shout out to Big Man Adventures. I love you, Tank.
Can you just
And,
go large on DJ for me, please? He's
I
a
can't go-
mess.
He's a mess, but that's why we love him. Like, BJ, what are you doing, bro?
He's got his
My
T-Rex
sister come upstairs with the dinosaur outfit,
Oh,
so I was like, I'm gonna put it on.
Oh my gosh, BJ, you are hilarious.
So
We need to have that's not a
Let's do
bad
a
idea to
costume
make.
night.
Well, no, we need to make a phoenix out of that material that you can blow up like that and run around in. Because
I'll do
man,
All those
we need a
sumo,
mascot.
there's sumo ones too, just like a friend of ours rented sumo ones, and he set up an inflatable, like an inflatable ring, and him and my cousin did that. It was so funny.
Life goals.
I wonder if I do a solo layout. Oh, there he is, guys. I just zoomed in on him. I figured it out. That's epic.
I will wear this at World Cup next year, and I'll
Okay,
walk
we're at
around
World
all
Cup
day.
and put a
Is that
Destiny
for your
jersey on
one-on-one
over it.
packs? That's for
And
your
then
one-on-one
and now
packs.
you have to sing happy birthday to Haley, and that's how we're gonna end. All right? On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Haley. Happy birthday to you. And Diane. Diane's birthday is December 17th. We'll have a fun show on that. Bye, y'all. Very, very nice to see you guys, and thank you again.